Hey, how we doing, guys? I wanted to ask your all's opinion on this engine right here, okay? This guy came back here to see if we would give him some warranty. We did this engine almost 12 months ago. It's been 11 months and a couple weeks, and he brought it back and we hooked up to it, checked it out. The engine has been severely overheated, and we were able to determine that he lost some pre-cooler lines, this and that, and lost all the coolant to the head. Long story short, burnt it to the ground. It's not having any problems. You know, the in-frame that we did to it still runs great and all that. It's just pushing coolant out pretty quickly, push a couple gallons out. So the head got compromised for sure. Now, when this guy originally came to us a year ago, he was already up against the fence. He's a local hauler here in Texas. And, you know, when you're hauling sand here in Texas, it's really hard to make money. So, you know, we went in and we did the most basic job we could possibly do. We did like a re-ring kit. We reused his head. This is original head to the engine here. So we sent it out to the machine shop. They did a couple $100 worth of work to it. Nothing too special. We put it back on. But, you know, him doing a really inexpensive job isn't what caused the failure. It was a loss of coolant caused the failure and this and that. So I guess from a shop owner's point of view, I kind of want to see in the comments how all of you would deal with this. I'll go ahead and tell you how we dealt with it, but I'm curious, how would you guys deal with that? Would you just tell him to go fuck himself because he didn't spend a lot of money the first time? Or would you zero in on the fact that he lost coolant and all of those things? And here's the thing, guys, if we turn him away, he has nowhere to go. He just doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the money to fix this truck. Some other shop cracking into it fresh, you already know it's going to be $20,000 job or something like that. Well, is the truck even worth that, right? So a young guy, by the way, his first truck, it's only his second year in business. So what we decided to do, now I don't like paying for other people's mistakes, okay? So what I said I would do for him is we have lots of head gasket kits laying around just from years of doing projects. Everybody that owns a shop, you know, you end up with a couple of head gasket kits laying around. I'm going to give him a head gasket kit. I sent out a head from another truck that was in really good shape. Ended up being a little bit more than I thought. I thought it'd be like $300 or $400 to refurbish it for him. Ended up being $1,200, but it is what it is. I told him I'd give him a head that's made it back from the machine shop. I'd give him that head gasket kit, and then he's going to come here on a Sunday, and a couple of the guys that work here are going to do it for him as a side job, charge him a couple $100. So we're going to get him back going again, where it doesn't really damage me too much. Yeah, it maybe cost me $1,500, you know, and it maybe cost him $1,000 or something to pay the guys that do it as a side job. But this guy gets to go back and take care of his family and this and that. And I feel like that was probably the best thing I could have offered him. I'm fully within a shop's reasonableness to tell him to go fuck himself, you know, and I don't think because, you know, he decided to do an inexpensive job the first time, but ruining this engine by loss of coolant, that's outside of the scope of anything that we're responsible for, of course, because only the guy behind the wheel can account for loss of coolant, shutting the truck down, stuff like that. He continued to drive it for like another week while I was pushing coolant out, so I'm sure he exacerbated the problem quite a bit. So anyway, that's the resolution we came up with. It kind of worked for everybody. You know, we try to do anything we can to take care of people here, not at the expense of damaging ourselves, of course, if we can help it, but, you know, thinking outside the box and trying to figure something out so this guy can continue to feed his family, I think is the right approach. But I'm curious, how would you guys all deal with this? Let me know.